Geeks Assembled.
Hi, Geeks Assembled. It's Chase Masterson from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Live long and prosper. And thanks for supporting the Pop Culture Hero Coalition. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, popcultureherocoalition.org. We're standing against bullying, and we'd appreciate your support.
Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we have assembled here once again, and tonight we are going back to 1999, and this is a film you may not have heard of and may not have seen, like me, until now, which is Mystery Men. And we're going to jump straight in with Susan, since I think it was Susan who chose this one.
All right. Yeah, so Mystery Men. It's exciting. It's thrilling. It's a new group of superheroes. There's Captain Amazing, and then there's a bunch of other sort of normal people who are pretty intent on becoming crime fighters themselves. They all have sort of a superpower in certain ways, and Captain Amazing is bored. He's already imprisoned everybody or killed everybody. And so he just figures, let's let one of them out. So he goes into the parole hearing, or the mental health parole hearing for, what's his name? Casonova Frankenstein. And then Casonova Frankenstein calls his buddies, the Disco Boys, and they're off to the races. They're gonna like hurt people and stuff. And these superheroes are really cool. It's got like Ben Stiller, William H. Macy, Paul Rubens, Janine Garofalo,
Eddie Izzard,
and Hank Lazaria. It's got so many good people in it. It's so fun. And Jeffrey Rush is the baddie. He's Casonova Frankenstein. And so it's got like super cool cast. And it's a super cool movie. It's really funny. It's pretty intense when the Blue Raja, played by Hank Lazaria, just kills Captain Amazing because he's confused as to the number of times that the toggle is to be shifted. Anyway, it's hilarious. Guys will love it. It's got Tom Waits in it. It's pretty much got an amazing soundtrack and great special effects. And I would strongly recommend it to anybody. And so here's Alex.
Okay, well, maybe Susan wants to do her own podcast. This is cute, and it does have a decent cast. I'm not a fan of it. You can be a fan of it if you understand that a lot of TV adaptations and TV movie adaptations were even lower standard than this back in the 60s and 70s and middle 80s. If you're a person that thinks superheroes are taken too seriously, or if you don't like the last 15 years of a major 500 superhero movies, it feels like, then you could also enjoy this movie because it makes fun of them. I don't find this as a real superhero movie. I think it's a superhero parody, in-joke, sarcasm kind of ambiance. And for that, it's decent. It does have a better soundtrack than a lot of movies, except for the All-Star song, which I never liked. But, like I said, this is 1999. They were just starting to come out with really decent superhero movies. And I think that's what this is. This is sort of a half superhero movie, half normal, half parody, half tribute. And so, you know, it's okay. But it does have a great cast, though. So, I mean, I have to give it that. As far as the story, no. But like I said, I think this was trying to make fun of 4 movies. It was trying to make fun of the Mentor movies. It was trying to make fun of the, you know, be sarcastic as they were in the 90s, trying to do in-jokes, and they were doing in-jokes on the superhero, supervillains movies, I think.
Yeah, the All-Star song. Oh, yeah, it is a parody. That's what it is. It's a comedy, Alex. It's a parody. The whole thing is a parody. It's taking the mick out of comic book heroes and stuff like that. But the All-Star song always takes me back to Shrek. Always takes me back to Shrek. That one, Shrek 1, where you first meet him. Yeah, so it always takes me back to that. Let's go to Stephen Price. What's Stephen Price make of Mystery Men? At least the first 10 minutes, anyway.
Whoa. Yeah, what I seen of it, I seen about over an hour of it, so that's not 10 minutes. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did laugh at the Saturday Night Fever came on and he was dancing. I enjoyed that.
You can sing it if you want.
No, I can't sing.
Got the voice of Tom Jones, though.
Funny bits in it, good effects. The only downfall of the movie is Ben Stiller. He's been okay in one movie I've seen him in, but not this one.
Can I just say, the effects aren't always good. And you got to remember, this is 1999, but when they throw the villain down the pit, and he starts to break up, that doesn't look particularly very good today. Looks a bit shoddy, doesn't it? But for back then, it would have been good, I suppose. Let's go to Beef Dad.
Right. Yeah, a lot of it made me laugh. Paul Rubens, super fart. Doing the most incredible things with his backside. But that is not surprising considering it's Paul Rubens. Nobody's mentioned, someone went through the list of the so-called superheroes. You missed the Invisible Boy, who basically he ended up being the one that really helped them out at the end. Yeah, Eddie Izzard playing the Disco Boy was just brilliant. He really made me laugh. But there again, if you're going to have a comedian play a part, why not Eddie Izzard? He's just brilliant. Hank Azaria was superb as the Blue Raja. He really was, and there were some very funny moments with him. Ben Stiller, I agree with Stephen. Ben Stiller was, for me, the least enjoyable character in the whole thing. He was supposedly is supposed to be the star of it, but they wrote crap for him, to be perfectly honest, and his performance was not brilliant. But his wife, played by Jennifer Lewis, was very good. She was very good. She made it real. Yeah, so, you know, sort of fighting the gangs that Frankenstein had got together, and you've got the Disco Boys, you've got the singers, you've got the rappers, the fraternity boys, and it's just mad. It really is just mad. It's very funny. Some of the effects are good. Some of the effects, Doctor Who could probably have done better, even though they're on a limited budget. That's it.
Let's go to Brian. Brian, what did you make of The Mystery Men? And have you seen it before?
What I thought of The Mystery Men...
Is it the first time you've seen it?
The Mystery Men? Yeah, it was the first time this is the first time that I've actually seen the movie, and honestly, surprisingly, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was actually a good, decent film. I enjoyed every minute of it. The casting was absolutely one of the best casts I've ever seen within a movie like this. I mean, with this movie, kind of have mostly. It's mostly a group of people trying to be superheroes, and within the parts of the movie, it kind of gave that it kind of gave me that feel of Batman vibe, like the Batman, like Val Kilmer and George Clooney's Batman kind of. It had that kind of vibe to it, and I felt like it was pretty interesting, and that's one of the things I liked about it. The casting for the characters of the movie, I thought, I thought they did a good job within the film. I pretty much know most of them from other films and TV. I've seen Ben Stiller work, and I mean, okay, now we're back. Okay, and another actor I was surprised to see in this movie was Paul Rubin, Pee Wee Herman himself. I was not expecting him to be in this movie. I mean, I could get like this type of movie. Sure, he would be. I'm sure I could see him being in this, but I was not expecting him to be in it. So those two actors I was very surprised to see. And I couldn't think of the I can't really think of the actor's name that did the forks and knives or spoons or whatever, but I haven't really seen him in much, only then one TV series, and that's Ray Donovan. And the Shoveler, I've just seen him in like Jurassic Park and the third Jurassic Park film. So the casting in this is absolutely amazing. I love this casting, perfect choice within casting. Absolutely amazing. And the movie itself was amazing. So I love this film.
I knew I recognized him from somewhere. Brian, it's reminding me it was Jurassic Park 3. That guy. I can't think it. I know who that is.
And also he's in a TV series. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but it's on a Showtime series called Shameless.
Oh, the American version.
The American
yeah.
The British version is far better.
Oh, and Brian, I like Keenan and Kel too. That was good. That was. I used to watch that. That was one of the American comedies I used to like.
Who loves on soda?
Yeah. No, I used to like that. Lee. Let's go to Lee for opening thoughts. Are we still on opening thoughts? Yeah.
Well, just to clear some up for Brian, the Blue Raja, Hank, the actor Hank Azaria, you may know him better for the voices in The Simpsons.
Who does he voice in The Simpsons?
The shop owner, I can't remember his name.
Apu, yeah.
I'm sure he does the sheriff as well. I'm sure he does the sheriff.
That's right.
Chief Wiggum, yeah.
I heard that he did The Simpsons, but I never watched Simpsons before.
And also he appeared with Robin Williams in The Birdcage as well.
That must have been a tight squeeze.
Oh, yes. But going back to the movie, it's as we said in the intro, it's a little known movie, but it's a fun movie. Great casting, as everybody has said, apart from Ben Stiller, which I agree with Beef Dad and Stephen about Ben Stiller. He's in the league with my Tom Hanks, Will Ferrell, and Colin Farrell. I just don't like them actors.
Could you imagine all four of them in a film together?
Well, guys, I understand if Ben Stiller isn't your taste. I quite understand that.
There is another one, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I don't like him either. I tell you, I don't like Steph MacFarlane either.
Yeah, it's a little overdone.
I don't hate.
Wait there. We'll come back. We got to give Lee his say because
I also didn't.
Every time you interrupt me when I'm doing my bit.
Don't interrupt Lee when he's doing his bit. Let's go back to Brian.
What?
I was just going to add one more thing. I was just going to add that the actor that did Captain Amazing, I didn't realize that was Craig. What's his name? Greg
Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear. Yeah, Craig Kinnear. But I didn't realize that was him because I knew him from a biography documentary movie that they had like about a year or two ago. He played John F. Kennedy.
Oh, did he?
I didn't. So it took me a moment to actually realize that it was him. And geez, what a way for him to first character to go on the movie.
Okay, let's let Lee finish, okay?
No, Alex can have his say now, and then we'll go to Lee. No, already joking. Let's go to Lee. Let's go to Lee more than you.
I apologize on that, Lee. Lee could go now. Sorry.
Them boots are getting polished, Brian.
Right, where was I? Yeah, great character actors in this. As I say, as it's been mentioned, Paul Rubens is the spleen, and the way his speech impediment just goes along with the character, and his face covered in zits. That's just for me. There's not enough drink in the world, spleen. Go away. That's just a classic line. But yeah, William H. Macy is the shoveler. A brilliant actor. He's been in loads of movies. There's one character that nobody's mentioned is the Sphinx. With his advice and his little sayings. They just, and it was pointed out by Ben Stiller in the movie that you just saying the opposite of everything you're going to say, which he did do all the way through it, which was just so funny. And there's also you have the bowler with a father's head in the bowl, which was quite funny because she starts talking to him. It's a fun action-packed movie, and any movie will cast Jeffrey Rush. It's amazing because he is just one awesome actor, is Jeffrey Rush, and to cast him as Casonova Frankenstein was just the icing on the cake for me. Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It's been a while since I watched it, so thank you, Susan, for suggesting this one. Over to you, Alan.
I think Beef Dad's praying to God that we hurry up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My opinions are a bit mixed on this film. Yes, it's funny and it's enjoyable, and most of the cast is good. But I think for me, Ben Stiller and his character and his acting is just it just drags the film down. I mean, you've got great people in there like Ezzy Izzard. I mean, a brilliant actor, a brilliant comedian, just funny and just captivating in anything he does. And then you've got Ben Stiller. I mean, and the problem is he's the main character, really. Well, he's meant to be the main character, but he just doesn't shine in this at all. And I don't know whether it's because I'm British and I don't get his style of acting or humor or whatever, and the Americans understand it more, but I just didn't find him engaging at all. But the rest of the film, yes, I did quite enjoy. I did think it was an enjoyable watch, you know. From the start, when those people are raiding this place, and you've got old ladies in wheelchairs dancing, and they're robbing. You know, the man gives his dentures and an eyeball, and you know it's pretty funny from the off. And then you got the invisible boy, which I found funny, where the scene where he says about that he can go invisible, but only when nobody sees him, and he doesn't see himself, but he can feel that he goes invisible. You know, but he can, if he sees himself, he's no longer invisible. That was a pretty funny scene. So yeah, I pretty much enjoyed this film. The ending, yeah, okay, it was okay. But the CGI in some of it was a bit hit and miss, I think, for the CGI. But then it's 1999, so. You know, Alex, what's the matter? You keep putting your finger.
Yeah, it's. You bring up an interesting point, Alan. This was not a box office success, and you have the clashing styles. Like you have Paul Rubens, who is known for Pee-wee, which it's a very offbeat style. You have Janine Garofalo as the bowler, who was in the Ben Stiller show. And that basically was parodies of 90210 and Designing Women. So American humor, as we've said a billion times, is different than British humor. And I think the problem is it's the clash. It's the clash between trying to have 10 different jokes and in-jokes and being sarcastic. And there's a difference between American sarcastic and British sarcastic. And I think it's the clash of styles.
Yeah, I just don't think it hit every note. I think it was the humor was a bit confusing, I think.
Right. So Zoolander and Meet the Fockers, where he was with Robert De Niro, is a very different type of humor than what Jeffrey Rush will do or Eddie Izzard will do.
Yeah.
And Hank Azaria is a very prominent voiceover actor. He should be an impressionist. He can do like 300 voices in less than half an hour. I mean,
So his Britishness was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, but he spoke with his natural voice to his mom, and then he turned her into his mummy, and suddenly he's completely, received pronunciation. He's great. He's amazing. And the other guy that the Sphinx was played by Wes Studi, which he's been in so many things.
Yes, I've seen him before. Yes.
And Lena Olin was in it, and she's awesome. Kel Mitchell was the Invisible Boy. And yeah, so.
And you also have Michael Bay in the movie. Michael Bay, the horrible, explosive director, for like 10 seconds he's in this movie. So if you blink, you'll miss him. Yeah.
I love how Alex and Susan just fight over the microphone.
Michael Bay's in this film?
Alex just pulls it away from Susan as she's speaking. Pepsi must have paid quite a bit of money for this film, mustn't they? You know. Yes. Let's go for favourite moments. Brian, what's your favourite moment in this film?
Me, my favorite moments. I guess my first favorite moment would have to be the beginning scene where
where the people raid, where the robbers raid the restaurant place.
Yeah, where the robbers come in to rob everybody from their things, and then a couple seconds later you get to actually see the mystery men in action and do their super healing from what they do. And then Captain Amazing comes in. I think that is my first favorite scene. My second favorite scene would probably have to be the auditions of recruiting more heroes. And I thought that was just extremely funny.
The guy in the tutu, yeah. Oh.
And yes, the tutu and Miss Bowen for when she comes in for the audition. And then I think my final favorite moment is from when they actually band together and get new costumes to take down the evil threat and get the badass fan that they have with the armor on it and the magnet in it and everything. So I think that is my last and favorite moment of the film.
Yeah, I can tell you really enjoyed this film, didn't you, Brian?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, no, I can tell you really enjoyed it because you gave 3 favorite moments. I mean,
yes, I love this film.
No, that's good. That's what this group's all about. You see, if Susan hadn't have chosen this, you wouldn't have watched it, would you?
I honestly no, because I've never even heard of it before until now.
You'll have to thank Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Let's go to Stephen Price.
I'd like to make a point here. During the 90s, I was watching a movie with Dan Aykroyd. It was very funny, and in walks Tom Hanks. Totally ruined the movie for me.
What, you were watching it with him in the cinema?
But he totally ruined the movie. Right, favourite moments, it's got to be Eddie Izzard dancing to Saturday Night Fever. The guy that's got the what do you call it, the speech thing.
Impediment, yeah.
Very funny. And the part that made me laugh was when they were outside Casanova's mansion, and one of them said, "Did you fart then?" "No." And the animal comes along and starts making love to his leg, and you see the moon.
Says a lot about you, Stephen. Hey, what was you going to say, Brian?
Oh, man, now I forgot.
Have you got another favourite moment?
No, I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, move on.
Okay, all right. Who should we go to next, Brian? Lee, Beef Dad, or Susan and Alex?
I think I'm going to go on to Lee.
We're going to Beef Dad.
Okay.
You meant to choose Beef Dad. That was the answer.
Well, I'm not the host of this thing. You are.
Shut up. can't believe that I'm actually agreeing with Brian on something. But yeah, the auditions was a very, very funny scene. It was very, very well done, very, very cleverly done. Yeah, I also loved Eddie Izzard when he starts dancing. That was pretty cool. I can't remember the woman's name, but I'm sure she was Throw Mama from a Train. And this woman, she plays Ben Stiller's boss at the junkyard. Is that not Throw Mama from a Train?
Well, it's similar actress, but she died before this was made, so it wasn't the same actress.
Oh, right. Yeah, but she's so like her. It's incredible. And that scene with her and Ben Stiller was brilliant because she really threw him out the window on that. To be perfectly honest, performance-wise, it was brilliant. And anything, absolutely anything, including the bowler and her bowling ball, because she was just brilliant, and the effects with the ball, I absolutely loved them. Great stuff.
Brian.
What?
Who should go next, Susan and Alex or Lee?
It's not my decision, it's yours.
No, you make it and I'll go to them. You make it and I'll go to them.
I made this decision last time and you picked
No, I promise.
Susan and Alex.
We're going to Lee. Lee, give us your...
Oh, the fool.
Stop doing this to me.
Favourite moments. It's been said the auditions. I mean, one of them what stood out for me was the premenstrual Avenger. That was so funny. And the shoveler's household life with his wife is so good. Every time he's there with his wife, he's going to carry on, I'm going to divorce you. And say Tom Waits, always mention Tom Waits as Dr. A. Heller, the creator of all the weaponry, but what doesn't kill, a canned tornado and stuff like that. I'm thinking, yeah, brilliant. And a gun what makes you argue with each other and stuff like that. And another scene is where the Sphinx got them all making their own costumes on sewing machines. That was so funny. But there's little scenes like that, and of course the disco boys, every time they're there, to the music, and that's just so good choreographed. And it was pointed out to me the other day by Beefhead, not Beef Dad, Beefhead, that there is a cameo, a first screen appearance of CeeLo Green in this. There's one of the rapper gang. So I kept my eye out for that, and he was definitely there. So thanks for that, Beefhead, for pointing that one out. So yes, there's a few favourite moments, man. Carry on.
Yeah, Brian, you were going to do something very, very dangerous.
There is one scene where Casonova is talking, and there's a guy standing behind him who looked the image of a Guy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. You know what I mean? A Guy Bear?
Yeah, from Starsky and Hutch, yeah. Brian, what did you want to say? Because you were going to interrupt Lee, weren't you? Then you thought about it, and then you thought that's not a very good idea.
No.
You value your life too much, yes. But you want to go and see David Tennant, you know.
Did anybody else notice that the shovel's household wife?
The wife, yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody notice that her name is Lucille? From any Walking Dead fans here?
May relate, I don't know.
Whenever I first heard the wife's name, I was like, oh, it's like The Walking Dead.
Because this is before Walking Dead.
I know, I'm just saying it's like Walking Dead.
Somebody called Lucille is a normal name.
No, I mean, I
There
never
are other people called Lucille.
I never heard of anybody named Lucille before. I thought that's only for Walking Dead purposes, but
Now, Brian, who should go first, Susan or Alex?
I'm not falling for that. You pick.
No. Honestly, you pick. Go on, you pick. Susan or Alex? Alex is going to go first anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, I mean, the interview part is good. There is a lot of, like I said, except for that all-star song by Smash Mouth, the soundtrack is actually good. I do like Janine Garofalo. I do like Paul Rubens. Again, this is offbeat, absurdist comedy, and then you have sort of a, and I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but you have a lot of changes in tone and a lot of changes in terms of the jokes between British humor, American humor, and such and such. And I think, too, it was meant to be offbeat. That was part of the in-joke, I think, too, was that it was supposed to be not your typical superhero origin story. You know, they already admit that they're messed up. They already admit that they're quirky and weird and odd and things like that. So I think that was the point.
Are we talking about the film or Geeks Assembled?
Either one. But we're talking about the movie and the movie genre. And like I said, you know, Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens is basically known for Pee Wee Herman, but he was in the original Blues Brothers and one of the Cheech and Chong movies. And what's the other one? And the original Buffy movie. So he's always been quirky anyway. Ben Stiller does a lot of parody stuff like Zoolander, like the Ben Stiller show. Janine Garofalo is offbeat as well, even though she was in some famous series as well. So
the cats are revolted, everyone.
So,
Raise it to the cats.
Right. There we go. I can see the body. Yeah, by the cats. Well, shall we go into Dr. Go ahead.
Everyone's a critic.
Right.
You won't believe what he just did with his ass pointing this way.
Oh dear. He didn't have a wee, did he?
No, he farted.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's it.
So
How appropriate.
that was Paul, a nod to Paul Rubens because Alex was going on about Paul Rubens. Okay, my favorite moment in this whole thing is I really like oh my gosh, I can't choose. Okay, I'm gonna have to choose. I'll just start saying some. I like the bit where he's with his boss and she's like, junket, and I thought that was really funny. And when he discovers that it's a Herkimer battle jitney, whatever that means, and because this is produced by Dark Horse, I know that this was a comic book before it was an actual motion picture. So, you know, this is actually, you know, a thing. These are actual characters in an actual comic book. Because I mean, of course, if it was in a comic book, it's more real than if it's in a movie, right? Everybody,
No.
right?
Well, they also teamed up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So.
The Extreme Men did?
Yeah.
In the comics?
Yeah.
Wow. So anyway, that's the real story. I love Eddie Izzard. I'm a big Eddie Izzard fan. I think that he has been brilliant in so many things. And Jeffrey Rush plays comedy and serious with equal dexterity, and I enjoy this movie to the nth degree. Janine Garofalo is fantastic, and so my favorite scene with her is when she and Paul Rubens have just been shot by the blame thrower, and they're going at it, and they're like, and you and what and no and yes, and it's just back and forth, and it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, you could also compare this to Suicide Squad as well.
It is a bit like Suicide Squad, only there's no evil government agency running these guys. These guys are just, you know, out to do it themselves. They actually have an altruistic motive, and unlike every other, like, you know, crazy group of superheroes, even the Teen Titans, they're run by the government. I mean, it's everybody else has some sort of, you know, sort of forced practice, and these guys are just in it to have fun, and in it to save lives, and in it to, you know, fight crime. So that's fun. And yeah, everybody else is asleep. I put everybody asleep in the cast.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Frozen.
To what you were saying. Yeah. Funny. Oh, Susan, you're back. Did you want to add any more?
I think it got recorded on my end, but we're experiencing some internet difficulties. So as soon as we can do final say and score, then I'll try and work out what the problem is.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's still recording anyway, so that's all right. Yeah, we might as well move on to final say and score anyway. Let's go off with, let's go to Stephen Price.
I'd give it an higher scoring if Ben Stiller won in it. So I'd give it 8.5 out of 10.
That's fair. Let's go to Brian. Give us a score, Brian.
My final scene score for this film would probably have to be an 8 out of 10, Howard. I love this film.
Wow, I was expecting higher than that, actually. Just an 8. Okay, let's go to Beef Dad.
Well, yeah, Ben Stiller really, for me, dragged it down a bit. There were some very funny moments, some very clever bits of comedy. So yeah, I'll go along with Stephen actually with an 8.5.
And let's go to Alex and Susan.
Yeah, like I said, whether it's appropriate or not, yeah, unless you're really a big fan of the superhero movies and you worship them, maybe this is as funny as Sucker Punch or the flip side of Suicide Squad. I mean, obviously it's a movie, and you have to give it points for the cast, the soundtrack, and the humor. But I think they were trying to do too much, and unfortunately, it won't get a sequel. It did make a lot at the box office, but again, there's quirky movies like Sucker Punch, Earth Girls Are Easy. There's a lot of other movies that are trying to be quirky or offbeat on purpose or not on purpose. So I'd have to give this one a 7. Like I said, there are good points about it.
I love Sucker Punch.
And I love this one. I'm kind of I like Sucker Punch. I like the other movies that you all have you have mentioned, but really this one is the best. It's got a great cast, and it's really, really funny, and it's got so much you know, character and action.
You like the quirkiness of it.
And I like the quirkiness. I like the weirdness. And Dark Horse did a really good job with this. And so, yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
And let's go to Hull with Lee. Yes, we do have to go to Hull.
And you. Films like this one makes me wish that Jeffrey Rush would make more movies like this instead of the crap Pirates of the Caribbean he keeps making. Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing what other people have said. I'd have scored it higher if Ben Stiller wasn't in this. I just don't rate him as an actor or a comedian. I'm going to go with 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 is still high. Yeah, as a like superhero parody comedy thing, I recently watched the other week. I watched Lego Batman, and that is phenomenal. I mean, I'm not a Batman fan. I've never really watched Batman. I've seen The Dark Knight, but I didn't like it, and I've seen some of the other 90s ones. But that was hilarious. That was absolutely brilliant. This is nothing like that. This is not as funny as that. That made me laugh from start to finish completely. Ben Stiller also really, really drags this film down for me, like other people have said. It really does affect my enjoyment, because I can't buy into his character at all. I just see him as Ben Stiller. It's like when I watch Will Ferrell. I just cannot get into the film, you know, because there's that disconnect. And he's such a bad actor. I mean, come on, there is not a good moment with him. He drags every single scene he is in down. But you do have Eddie Izzard and some other good actors in there, which really prop the film up. But for me, and for all those reasons, I am going to give it. I'm going to give it a 6. I think a 6 is a fair score for it. So yes, I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you, lone viewer, for watching, even though Alex has these ridiculous claims that hundreds of people watch us on Facebook. Let's see those numbers, Alex. Tell us below what you think of Mystery Men, and look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.
Bye.